That glass of water looks extremely small in your gigantic hands.
It's been a minute.
It has been a minute.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. So we're having a conversation. This is Byron Ovenstone.
What's up?
And my name is Aaron Alejandrino. And we were having a conversation about all kinds of stuff. Battle Ready is a topic, our men's fitness program, but we were talking about stress. We were talking about men and stress. We were talking about men ghosting you in regards to the sales calls, because there's so many dudes out there that need a fitness program, that need to lose weight, that need to get in shape, that need to start prioritizing their fitness, nutrition, and mindset, but they're just not going to do it. And so they get on these calls, they fill out the application, and they end up not always following through. But that's another topic. There's just a lot of dudes out there that say they want something but don't actually put in the work.
Well, they just don't want to commit to what it's going to take.
Ooh, commitment.
Yeah. Commitment issues.
Commitment issues.
Yeah.
Commitment issues. Those are a big deal. Why do you think guys are afraid of committing?
Because once you say you're going to do it and you're fully in, then you have to actually do it. I'm more of like a hell yes, hell no kind of person these days, because I'm either all in or I'm all out. Sometimes you have to walk that line a little bit. But for the most part, I'm like, if it's not a hell yes, it's kind of like a hell no for me. I want to either be in or I want to be out. I don't like the gray.
I got to be honest, man. I kind of like the gray. I kind of like the gray. I like the gray. I like to be able to walk in between. And things I'm committed on. And there's like absolutely, and I'm so fucking loyal almost to a fault that I end up staying probably too committed to some things. But I do like walking that gray area because it allows me to dance between the two. It's like going out to eat. I like ordering multiple appetizers because I like to be able to have many things to choose from. Or like the beer flight, it's like you have 7 different types of beer. You don't have to commit to just one flavor. It allows you to taste and sample. But the real commitments, like the big commitments in life, like commitment to your fitness, commitment to your nutrition, commitment to your relationships. I'm on a big commitment right now.
You are.
Made that big jump all in. It's exciting. It's good because when you make that commitment, it clears out all the other debris everywhere else. Yeah. But we're talking about stress.
Yeah.
We're talking about stress. We're talking about stress and how men deal with the stress, what are the symptoms of stress, how to best mitigate your stress, and how to get out of a stress cycle if you happen to be in it. Because stress is affecting everybody. It's a conversation I have constantly with coaching clients I know that you face all the time. Stress, like I'm stressed out at work, I'm overwhelmed, I'm exhausted, I'm fatigued, I don't have time for anything. Self-care is a low priority. I'm definitely not making my workouts. I'm eating like dog shit because it's the only thing that makes me feel good. And my mindset is scattered because I'm stressed out all the time. And then it leads to drinking, sedation, vices, all kinds of stuff. Spiral. This is the spiral, and if you're in Australia, it goes the other way. Spiral, shitstorm down to nothing because you're just stressed out, overwhelmed, and exhausted. And like everybody's facing it right now. Oh yeah. I think it is a symptom of our success culture, our culture of overachievement, where everyone is chasing the next big thing, the next Bitcoin, the next fucking social media highlight reel. They're just chasing, and because of our overstimulated culture of social media, everyone is comparing their lives and their highlight reels to an average day, which is impossible to keep up with, and so you're stressed. You're stressed because like I don't have the Lamborghini, I don't have the fucking nice car, nice house, nice woman, nice body, and it just causes more stress. More stress.
And my neighbor just bought a Lamborghini and a brand new BMW M8.
Okay, what's he do?
Past me, he got into Bitcoin at $15 a coin.
Oh shit! All those that are like didn't believe in the crypto space, so now is a great time to accumulate. That's the topic. That's not the topic, but is a side topic. Is we were just talking about this. Now is a great time to accumulate. Everyone's selling, fire sale, they overextended, but now is the time. Dollar cost average, a little bit every day will add up over time. That it had enough cycles of success over the last 3 cycles. 4 cycles,
12 or 16 years.
Yeah, it's got a good pattern. It's over that 10-year mark when it is a viable investment. Visa, MasterCard, all the big banks. But this is not a financial model. But anyway, it's a good time. Good time.
So you see that every day, and it's like it's an instant reminder of what you don't have. And then it's like, okay, well now I'm aspiring to get a Lamborghini. But like, will a Lamborghini make me happy? No, because I had an Audi before, and it didn't make me any happier. It was cool, but the minute you're inside it, it's a fucking metal box that gets you from here to there. But the stress that it adds, and like wanting more, being more, needing more, like when does more become enough? Because
never.
Well, it doesn't. And this is it. You're chasing it every day. The spiral where the stress hits, And then how do you mitigate that stress or remove it? Otherwise, you end up going to war with your spouse or your partner or your kids.
Right.
I'm very good at that.
Yeah.
Full
You
scale
can
war.
get a little aggressive. So let's talk about the symptoms of stress. Maybe you don't even know that you're stressed. So what are the symptoms of stress? Well, overwhelm, that feeling of like, I just can't handle this. And maybe you deal with that feeling. And maybe you don't even have a word for the feeling, but you're dealing with your life by disconnecting or distracting. So disconnecting would be by the end of the day, you're having a cocktail and turns into 1, 2, 3. And then you're binging Netflix on the weekend because you have no more energy in the gas tank. Date night is a thing of the past because you don't even have energy for that. Your sex life is because you have no energy, and you're overeating, overconsuming, and you're just distracted because you're literally just running on fumes. So those would be some of the symptoms to pay attention to. And then what are the net effects? Like, what's stress actually doing on the body from a scientific level?
I can just talk from my perspective. I know when I'm getting like, whether you want to call it stress, overwhelm, whatever it might be, but I can feel it in like my chest cavity. Like shit gets tight. I stop breathing properly, literally like pressure on the heart. And your
Blood pressure is going through the roof.
Sometimes I can feel my heartbeat in my neck, my blood. I'm guessing, I know my blood pressure is fucked because I'm 240 pounds and I'm not supposed to be 240. I can feel my heartbeat in my neck sometimes, and I'm like, okay, we need to like cool off for a minute because this is not a good place to be.
You're feeling like your body's not working the way it's wants. You're not sleeping well at night. You're drinking way too much caffeine and drinking way too much booze to end this stress cycle, and you just constantly feel behind the 8 ball. And so self-care automatically goes out the window, and your irritation fuse. I think this is one of the first areas to really pay attention to, is how quickly are you getting irritated at the small things? Like you're getting pissed off at a spouse, kids, loved ones, the pets. You just have zero patience left because your stress is so high, patience is so low. Next thing you know, you're in a constant fight with everybody around you. It's hands up, fists up, and you're in that fight or flight state. Stress. So the scientific, what's happening? Your cortisol levels are through the roof. Cortisol is the stress hormone, the fight or flight hormone. This is going to be the biological response from your sympathetic nervous system that is giving you the fuel to get something done, to pick a fight, to run, to flee, to charge through a wall, to lift up a car, and to save a family that is inside of it trapped. All of that is the response of this chemical reaction of cortisol. All that stuff from your stress response. But if you stay in stress for a long period of time, chronic stress really starts to debilitate the body. It is no longer this cool superpower. It becomes this sludge that slows you down. So you're going to start noticing that your testosterone is dropping. If you check your hormone levels, your metabolism slows down. You're going to be packing on some extra weight. Your energy just plummets.
Yeah, you're struggling.
You're seriously struggling. Your sleep is just completely trash because you're not getting into a natural cortisol pattern of waking up in the morning, having energy, and then falling asleep at night. Overeating, you're constantly snacking, constantly hungry for sugar and snacks. And again, the short fuse.
Right.
Yeah,
The short fuse is the biggest one.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not for everyone, but mine, when I'm in like high stress, like full go mode, I have very short fuse. Like I go from 0 to pissed and back again real quick. Like I can do this. I can flip flop real quick between the two. And I know I'm in a stressful state when I can get triggered about stupid shit that really shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I'm like, this is the end of the fucking world.
So now we talked about the symptoms of stress. We talked about the scientific effect on the body. So all those things that you think are important, like your metabolism, your testosterone, being healthy, having a sex drive, being able to sleep well, all that stuff, it's completely kaput. It's out the window. Like, I can't fucking take a vacation. I'm working 95 hours a week and I got to feed this family and it's constantly growing. You keep spending and buying Amazon stuff. How could I possibly relax? So how do you relax? How do you build a relaxation? What's up, Ness? How do you build a relaxation into your routine so that you can decompress a little bit and start to pull and get some of your power back, get some of your life back?
For me, it's one of those things where I literally get to a point where I schedule it in, where I will have like periods of downtime. The last few weeks I've been pretty shitty at actually blocking up space in my calendar for it. But most of the time I'll have like a 30-minute window or something where I can just like kind of decompress and pull myself out of sales call mode or coaching mode and just be like present for Byron for a minute.
Okay.
So
you're
scheduling it.
Okay.
I feel like Hannah and I communicate pretty well. So when she sees me in a high stress state, she'll call me out on it as well. And she'll be like, you're getting pretty fired up for fuck all right now. You need to like cool off a minute. And then I'll be like, oh, okay, shit.
So that's good communication with your partner. But what if the stress has driven a wedge between you and your person because you've been an asshole coming home all the time, fired up, pissed off, angry, and and you've been in this stress loop. You didn't even notice it until you either served the divorce papers, or she is no longer cooking you dinner. She's just not there because you have literally, and we've been there, we've seen this happen with our clients. The stress spiral gets so extreme, work becomes so demanding, work becomes the priority, becomes the misses, and there's no way you can distance from it.
But at that point as well, you got to ask, is it something that you are using as an escape? Because that's where I went. Like when I was working 16 to 18 hour days, it wasn't because I had much work to do, but it was an escape from not having to go home and deal with what I was dealing with at home and all of that stuff. So it was like, okay, now I have to work too much so that I don't have to go there.
A lot of layers there.
Yeah, you unpack that for days. I feel like there has to be a point where you should be able to communicate that. If this person is someone you truly care about, you should be able to take the gloves off, like leave the fucking body armor at the door and come into the house and have a conversation where you're not ready to fight with your spouse about it.
So, but so if you recognize that you're in a stress loop,
yes,
and you're scheduling these little mini breaks to transition to be able to come home and have a conversation with the spouse, so that you can really like be in that battle for the relationship, for the family. Like that's got to be your primary battle at the end of the day, right? So you recognize it, you're going to start decompressing. What are some things that we could do to give these guys that are probably in a stress loop, because everybody's in a stress loop, some practical and tactical ways to decompress? Schedule downtime so it doesn't get all heated up. Plan to have some communication time with the missus, with the spouse. Plan those date nights, plan those recharging times. I've been huge into meditation. Meditation is a game changer. It took me the longest time to get into the practice of meditation, but taking 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the afternoon, amazing how much space you can create just by breathing for 10 seconds. 10 seconds. 10-second time out will radically reduce your stress and allow you to be ready for the battle in front of you.
Agreed.
Yeah.
For me, one huge one is working out.
Exercise.
So if I can burn a ton of calories and aggression in the gym, it means I leave it there and I don't bring it home with me. And I can see that on days that I work out versus days that I don't work out. I'm a different animal completely. And then the fuel that I put in my body will determine my stress levels too.
So you're talking about make sure you've got a good fitness program.
Yeah.
Make sure you have good quality nutrition going into your body. And we really got to protect our mindset more than anything to protect and foster a healthy, like, lower stress. We're never going to completely eliminate stress. We know that already. You can't. In a fast-moving, fast-paced, if you want stuff, if you want the body, the business, the bank account, the woman, the lifestyle, you want to provide generational wealth for those that you care about, like, you're going to experience stress in some capacity, because it means that you are stretching. You're stretching beyond where you currently are. Stress is not necessarily bad. You put enough stress on a lump of coal and it turns into a diamond. So schedule. Have a good conversation with your spouse, your loved one. Make sure that you're dialing in your fitness, you're exercising to the right capacity for your body. But I think the biggest thing on exercise too is you're working towards a goal.
Right.
You've got a specific goal, a 30, 60, 90-day goal, something in the future that allows you to have something to look forward to. Because if you're just going to the gym, just slamming your body and just constantly running, I know a guy that ran a marathon a day for a period of time, and like that was his way to relieve stress. It's causing more stress on his body than anything else. And by the end of it, he just completely collapsed and was exhausted. But like that's not relieving the stress, because there was no specific goal. It's almost obsessive to go in there. So you got to have a goal, like stepping on stage, losing weight, getting ready for pool season. Set a 30, 60, 90-day goal so that you can actually have the progress, because the progress is what fuels our purpose.
Well, yeah, because also, I mean, when I was 295 pounds as a banker, I went to the gym every day.
Oh.
But I was still a fat fuck, because I went to the gym and I just ticked the gym box. I barely broke a sweat. I had no plan. I walked in and I was like, oh, that machine's
biceps
free.
in the squat rack.
Right. And then, oh, that machine's free, so I'll use that machine. And it's like, I had no plan, no purpose, no reason to be there other than I go to the gym box.
Yep.
When we have good conversations, not like the superficial, like, hey, how you doing? You okay? But we actually like start peeling back layers and you're like, hey, dude, I can tell you're stressed, stop fucking with me. And then I actually open up and I tell you the real story. Like having someone that you can talk to about your shit, especially as a guy. Because I feel like as a guy, we have to put up this facade or this like perception.
I got shit figured out.
I have everything fucking waxed. Nothing can faze me. Look how fucking broad these shoulders are. Like, let's be honest. So I can carry everything and all of it.
All the weight.
You can't.
You can't,
like, at some point you start breaking down. You can't hack that shit. And it's like the straw that broke the camel's back. It is that straw. It's like something so fucking mundane that'll tear you apart because you've got 5,000 pounds on your shoulders.
You not only got to be in the gym with a program and a plan to work towards a goal so that you can feel like you're making progress to help lower your stress, but you also got to have a good community, good friend, good coach, someone with outside eyes that is along the similar journey that can call you out and say, hey, listen, Byron, I love you to death, man. I love you like a brother. And here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that throttle, that the stress level is getting really high. Your fuse is really short. You're getting a little red in the face. Your blood pressure is up. Like, what the fuck is going on? I love you, bro. We can have a conversation. Let's go lift some weights while we're doing this.
Have someone that you can actually be open, honest, and completely transparent with like zero judgment. Anything I've dealt with, you've dealt with before.
100%.
Most of the shit you've dealt with, I've dealt with before.
100%.
So like, for me to judge you or you to judge me, what would be the value in that?
No value whatsoever. So at the end of the day, vulnerability builds so much trust, and that trust allows us to unburden ourselves from the stress that we're carrying, because the stress isn't going anywhere. The stress is not going anywhere. You're still going to be overwhelmed. You're still going to be exhausted. You're still going to be fatigued, especially if you're a high speed, low drag, ambitious, entrepreneur type person that absolutely loves the stress.
Right.
I love the stress.
Yeah.
Love it. But I love the stress that I choose.
Right.
I love the stress that I choose. We're like, you know what? This is a goal I'm going after. I'm going to fucking go at it full throttle. I'm going to put all my effort, energy into it. And I know that it's going to be a short sprint. But when the stress is constant because you're eating poorly, your fitness is garbage, you don't go in with a plan, your relationships are trash, your spouse doesn't want to talk to you because you're not honoring the promises that you made, you have poor communication skills because you've been sedating, and no one else around you is giving you the feedback like, hey, dude, I'm checking in on you, how's your heart? You're not getting that. Your stress level is going to become overwhelming, and that's when vices really take over. That's when bad decisions take over. That's when stress, overwhelm take over, and that's when you truly feel overwhelmed. So,
yes, sir.
Talking about this stress loop, we talked about, the symptoms to pay attention to, the exhaustion, the fatigue, the net effect it has on the body, lowering your testosterone, causing you to gain weight, really fucking up the internal mechanism of a happy life. You're not going to feel good when you're a stressed out state all the time. You're just going to be in this constant fight or flight. I got to have my hands up. Everything is a battle, never really relaxing. And it has a terrible effect on your relationships because your fuse is so short. We talked about some ways to mitigate it. Schedule time to relax. Make sure you're having a conversation with your spouse. Get a good fitness program. Good fitness program where you're working towards a goal. Make sure you're staying true to your nutrition, like actually putting healthy stuff in your body, doing healthy things in your mindset, spending time with quality people that are going to call you out and connect with you and offer support along the journey. It sounds a lot like something we do.
we do this in pretty well as well.
Yeah. If you made it this far in the video, this is a total soft pitch for Battle Ready, and I'm just going to be straight up and honest about it, because men need masculinity, men need modeling, men need a progress-based program that gets amazing results, that helps them burn fat, build muscle, helps provide the guidance around the nutrition that they need, and more so than anything, helps protect their mindset so they can be the leaders and the lighthouses for their family.
Agreed.
We're in battle all the time. Battle's not going to change. It's going to change what it looks like. It's going to be a battle for our home. It's going to be a battle for our business, a battle for our bank account, a battle for our bodies. We're always in battle. So stress is always high. How do we manage the stress? Well, we have to be in a good community that holds us accountable, that sets a standard for excellence, that allows us to have fun along the ride too, and make massive progress.
Yeah. Keep you in like a fucking lane where you're not spiraling off, being a terrible example of like a husband or a father or whatever the case might be. If I spiral too hard and I fuck things up completely, that then shows Jameson how he should be a man. Or it shows Scarlett what she should expect from a man. And then now I've done generational damage, not just fucking up myself.
Yeah, that's deep.
But like I fucked up my kids, and then they're gonna fuck up their kids, and it's like there's a family tree of Ovenstones that are just fucking idiots. So there's a lot of pressure.
There's a lot of and there is a lot of pressures, and the pressure and the stress is not going to change. And the thing is, you can either ignore this call to action where you get to step up, step out, and become the best version of yourself. Dial in your fitness so you can become a physical example. Dial in your nutrition so you understand that what you put in your pie hole, what you put in your mouth, represents your stress, represents your emotional eating, your relationship food. It represents your impulsiveness. If you're constantly drinking to sedate yourself, you got some stuff you need to work through. And that is something that you track with your nutrition and your mindset. Like if you can't stay calm under the pressure of life, it's tough.
You're always going to have a rough life.
And the worst thing about it is you're passing on those lessons to those around you. And so for your loved ones, like even your animals, your pets pick up on the energy of you, your mindset, your kids, your family, your spouse. If you come home and you open the door and the whole family cringes, like, oh, dad's home. Like, that's a really good sign that your stress levels are so high that you're terrifying the pack.
Right.
And the only way that you change it is by changing your habits, your behavior, your actions, and for men, it begins in the body.
If you're not proud of the guy looking back in the mirror, that's the first place to start, because that was my first place to start. I don't remember who said it, and I wish I did, because I really would like to give them credit, but they said something about, would the 7-year-old you be proud of the man you are today?
Yeah.
Would they be excited to grow up and be that version of you now? For me at the time was like, fuck no. And I was like, oh shit, well then you should probably do something about that, right? And it's like, now you carry that into the life, and I truly feel like a 7-year-old me would be proud of growing up and being
yeah,
now.
man.
So I'm like, okay, cool. Now I'm living that, so I can now pass that on. It doesn't mean I'm perfect. I fuck up daily. Like, I'll lose my shit at Jameson for the stupidest shit sometimes. But as well, like, I want him to have a routine, and I want him to be like dialed in and shit like that. So I'm like, navigating that. When do you apply pressure versus when do you just let it slip? Yeah. And I'm still figuring that out. Like, parenting is fucking
You're never gonna, and the thing is, you're never not gonna not figure it out. Like, there's always gonna be a challenge in some capacity. The issue is when you stop taking ownership for your meat suit. I think that's step number one. If your meat suit, your physical body is stressed out, overwhelmed, exhausted, and fatigued, you're not giving anybody your best. No. If you're not a physical embodiment, if you don't physically look in the mirror and be like, you know what, damn, I look damn good naked, you're not giving your wife what she deserves, you're not giving an example to your kids, and you're certainly not honoring what God gave you, which is your meat suit. And you only get one of these. You get one meat suit. You get one for the entire life, which means if you're not physically taking care of it, making it the best damn meat suit you got by putting in healthy stuff with your nutrition and really protecting your mindset, how can you ever expect to pass on better lessons?
That's your car there. You could be an asshole to that car and fuck it up completely and buy a new one tomorrow.
Yeah.
You fuck this up, good luck. Most people care for their cars better than they care for their frame. That's a problem. Like, you're in the wrong fucking business there.
All right, so if you are interested, and if this spoke to you, if you're stressed out really high and you want to be a part of a community and a program that's going to help you dial in your fitness, nutrition, mindset, give you the program that will deliver you the results so you can see progress in your life, but also more so than anything, give you a community, a support group of men that are on the path, on the journey. We got 150 guys in Battle Ready right now. And dude, it is growing. The Wednesday morning men's call is so fucking just helpful throughout the week. We talk about everything from your macros, your muscles, your mindset. We've had topics on testosterone therapy. We've had topics on nutrition. We've had topics on literally everything, fatherhood, vices, everything. And it's so great to have a conversation with dudes that are on the same path, because at the end of the day, you got to talk about it. If you don't talk about it, it ends up festering. Right. And if you're suffering in silence, feeling like you're the lone wolf, there is no pride in being a lone wolf. The lone wolf dies first. The lone wolf doesn't eat, and the lone wolf is an outcast. Right. And he dies first. The wolf pack is strong. We got a badass wolf pack, and we would love for you to join it. So somewhere around here, or on the link in the bio, or below will be an application link. Fill it out, hop on a call with myself or Byron, and we'd love to have a conversation so you'd be a good fit for Battle Ready, because the battle is always happening. Stress is always happening, and you got to be battle ready.